Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cop Talk. So, tonight, Liverpool lost to USG in Belgium 2-1, and deservedly so. It was not a very good performance, and there's many reasons, I think, for this performance. Many youngsters in the team, and, you know, to be honest, I don't blame Klopp for the team he put out. Um, this is look. I never like to see Liverpool lose a game of football ever, but if there's a game we could lose, then it's this one. We've got huge games coming up. Manchester United at the weekend, which I will be at. West Ham on the Wednesday. Arsenal the following week. Now, if we lose a game out of, including tonight's game, out of those games, then this is the one we want to lose. If we lose one, and we lost it, and there's a few reasons. I think obviously a lot of young players in the team, and look, they did okay, but they showed that really and truly at this top level, first team level, that some of them they're probably not ready for it. The players I'm thinking of that came on, Scanlon looked a bit lost, looked a bit out of place, lost the ball a few times, didn't really do very well. Bradley did okay. McConnell didn't have long to show what he could do. Ben Doak didn't do much really, which was I was excited to see him tonight. Cabe Gordon, I mean, he's coming back from long-term injury. He's played some under 21 games, but he missed a year of football, I think, or something. So, we can understand why he didn't really do that well. But then you look at, there were some first team players in the team. So Kelleher did okay. Could he have done better for some of the goals? Maybe. I'm not blaming him, but maybe some of the goals he could have done better. Some of their goals, the first goal was slightly unlucky. He did get quite a lot, but the ricochet went for the attacker, and he scored. But we were far too open. I mean, the line we played was so high, and Konate didn't get back quick enough. We were caught out for that. So let's look at the players that have played first team football and are on the fringes. So for me, Konate did okay, didn't do really well though. Joe Gomez, who's captain tonight, he concerns me. He really does. He doesn't anticipate very well. I mean, he's good on the ball and he goes forward and he can carry the ball forward and he's got pace, but too often he gets caught in the wrong position. And, for a player of his experience, you expect better. I do anyway. Endo didn't have a great game, to be honest. And I really like Endo. I think he's part of our first team squad, and he comes in, he does a job, and he can play better than that. And he's got the experience. He's Japan captain. A game like tonight shouldn't have phased him too much. But then he's playing with a lot of players that don't normally play in the first team. Who else? Curtis Jones. For me, Curtis Jones, this is a game. If we're looking at Curtis Jones as somebody who's developing into a first team stalwart, this is a game he should have managed. He should have been in charge of this game because he's played many big games for Liverpool, and so this was his chance to shine. Harvey Elliott, a lot of energy. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of endeavour. He always wants the ball. He's always trying something. So I love Harvey Elliott, but this wasn't his night. Nunes, when he came on, didn't really do much. So yeah, there's a concern that Gakpo didn't have one of his better games. So for me, the players that are looking to say to Jurgen Klopp, look, you need to include me in this first team, I don't think any of them can knock on Jurgen Klopp's door and say, yeah, I think I showed you what I'm all about tonight. And that's a shame. That's a shame. But listen, we take the loss, we move on. It wasn't fantastic tonight. And we dominated the ball, but we hardly troubled their goalkeeper. So that tells you a lot. They had 11, 12, 13 shots on goal. They had a goal disallowed, for a handball in the build-up. But many times they got in behind us and they exposed that Liverpool defence. And look, we got to remember, no Van Dijk, no Alisson, which is huge, no Trent, so no Salah. I mean, there are 4 world-class players that we have that weren't playing tonight. So, it would have been a different game, I think, had they played. But listen, it's good that we rested those guys. We got big games coming up, a busy period. So if you can rest players, and we did, then we should do, and you need to use the squad. He needs to play these fringe players in games, because you may need to use them in a Premier League game, and they need to be ready. They need to have the rhythm of the first team. So even though we lost and no one really performed very well tonight at all, I would say, apart from Quansah, who has demonstrated he can shoot, because he scored in the last game and that was disallowed. So I like Quansah. I like him. He's a little bit rash, so he needs to learn that bit more calmness. But there was a moment when he went in for a tackle. I mean, it was a good tackle, but he went in and it was almost double-footed, sliding, and, he could have given the referee a decision to make. So he needs to be careful about that. But yeah, it's disappointing. I never like to see Liverpool lose, ever. It's really, it doesn't feel good. But we did our job in this competition in the previous games. And we've qualified top, and we go straight through to the last 16. So I don't think we should be sweating it too much. We don't have to worry about this competition until March, so all good for me. But yeah, I think Klopp will be a bit disappointed. Some of these youngsters didn't really show what they can do. I've seen Ben Doak play before, and he's a lot more electric than that. He was very flat tonight. But again, he hasn't played a lot of games recently, so that could be why as well. So it's not making excuses for anyone, but we do have to understand that while you'd love your young academy players on the fringe of the team to come in and blow teams away, sometimes that's not realistic. This is a hostile European game. Some of these players, it's good experience for them to experience that atmosphere and the level. And you could see that some of those USG players were far more experienced than the Liverpool players, and they used that experience really well. So it was a good learning curve for a lot of these players about what's required at the top level. So, and this isn't the top level. There's a level above this that they have to get to. So this was a good learning curve tonight, and hopefully they took something out of it. But yeah, we move on to the next game, and I'm sure it's going to be a very different performance at Anfield on Sunday. Yeah, so that's the summary of the game, and I wish you all well, and I'll see you all on the next one.